Hey people, it is Sunday the 9th of November. It is 3:21 p.m. Currently -1 Celsius outside. Feeling colder with the wind chill, more like -7 I think. And we're inside Union Station at the moment, as you can see, but I'm going to be heading outside, and today we're actually experiencing the first major snowfall of the winter season here in Toronto as we speak. The snow is coming down outside. I was just live streaming for the last couple of hours through the snow, but the battery on my phone decided it was done, so I had to end that stream, but luckily I have my camera here with me. And now I'm going to be making my way home through downtown as the snow continues to come down. I think we're expecting maybe upwards of 5 to 8 centimeters of snow here in the city. It seems like close to 5 centimeters has already come down. Just getting my umbrella ready to go here. I think I am. Okay, wait a second. All right, now, there we go. Have to make sure everything is in order before I venture out into the snow. Got to keep my camera dry, my microphone. Here we go. An early first snowfall here in Toronto. A bit unusual for us to have accumulating snow so early in November. Maybe later in November you can expect this, but it's been a good 6 years, I think, since we've had snow that actually amounted to anything within the first week or so of November. Actually, I think the last time was in 2019, and that was on Remembrance Day, which is actually November the 11th. So I don't know when the last time we had snow this early before then. And the ground is very slippery. And it's very windy. Can't have a snowfall without wind, right? Wind and snow, they all seem to go together for some reason. Whoa! And when you have an umbrella, the wind is not your friend. Matter of fact, it's kind of your enemy.
See how nice the building is?
And the cold wind is also the enemy of your battery life in your camera or your phone. So I'll have to keep an eye on that. Also the microphone as well. I can barely make out the CN Tower. Got the bay in front. With all the tall buildings here, of course, it's a bit of a wind tunnel, which doesn't help. The wind is already bad enough as it is. Yeah, you gotta walk carefully. Whoa! The sidewalks are slippery. Let's go up Bay Street. I already feel like taking shelter, and I've just come back outside. Well, I suppose I'll tough it out. It's miserable. It's just miserable. There's no other way to put it. Got lots of buses all lined up here along Wellington Street. Here's a sidewalk snowplow. I was talking about those earlier when I was streaming. And it's salting also. It's dropping salt on the sidewalks. There's a guy in shorts. You always see a few of these shorts people walking around on days when you wouldn't expect them. I did a walk along Bay Street just about a month or so ago when the street was all covered in fake snow as part of a filming shoot, and little did I know that so soon after that we'd be walking up Bay Street with real snow on the ground. Financial district. Alright, we'll cross to the other side. Wipe the lens here. Gets a bit fogged up. There we go. Straighten out the lens. There we go. Yeah. The gadgets don't like this sort of weather. They weren't really made for it. Look at this poor guy. He's right on top of one of those vents that has hot steam coming out of it. I don't know, if I were him, I'd just go inside the Eaton Center and hang out for a while. It's open until the evening, even on a Sunday. At Bay in Adelaide, St. Regis Hotel. I wonder how many fender benders there were across the city today. Usually the first snowfall has hundreds of them. And people suddenly realize they forgot how to drive in snowy conditions. Temperance Street. We're about to get a steam bath up ahead here. Let me adjust myself. There we go. I'm carrying like several things here in both hands. I have two hands, but I'm carrying three things with my two hands. Alright, here comes the steam. See, there's a guy on top of that one too. Actually, I think I'll cross here. There's the old Hudson's Bay building. All empty for now. Hopefully something will go in there, make use of that. Something good. Old City Hall looks nice in the snow. I think this is supposed to taper off though as we go into the later afternoon or early evening. Ooh, got a little snow-nado over there. Snow blowing off the trees. And this isn't enough snow on the ground to stick around, obviously. I think it'll mostly be gone by tomorrow or the day after at the latest. A lot of it is melting on contact with the ground here, with the concrete and asphalt. And the ground is still quite warm at this time of year also, so it'll probably melt away, even in the grassy areas, quite soon. I don't think they have the skating rink opened yet at Nathan Phillips Square. That should be coming soon though. Whoa. Very slippery here. So we're continuing up Bay Street. Snowy bikes. This isn't the most interesting part of Bay Street along here. I'm going to make my way up to Elm Street, which should look pretty nice. Alright, we're almost at Dundas. What a slushy mess already, right? Got Yonge and Dundas over that way. Got Little Tokyo heading west along Dundas here. That streetcar is pretty packed. I mean, there are some empty seats though. It's not that packed, I guess. Some guy's trying to skateboard. A little help from mom, I think. I mean, wipe off the lens again. Well, at least the umbrella is keeping my camera dry for the most part. I wish I didn't need it. All right, here's Elm Street. I thought it would look charming with the snow and the restaurants and the lights on the trees. This is a really nice little stretch. Some nice restaurants, even some retail stores here and there. Those look like tropical plants there. They're not used to being covered in snow. The scene doesn't know whether it's autumn leaves or winter snow. It's trying to do both, I think, at the same time. Well, it's technically still autumn, right? Until December 21st or whatever. 22nd, 21st, something like that. Restaurants along here.
This is my first time.
Elm Street Italian Deli. B-Town Pizza, Brampton style pizza. That's what that's all about. Got the famous Barbarian Steakhouse. And we emerge onto Yonge Street here. A little taste of downtown Yonge. losing my grip on some of the many things I'm holding here. The hands get a bit frozen, you know, when they're exposed like this. Normally I'd be walking around with my hands in my pockets in this sort of weather, but can't really do that when I'm recording, obviously. Hey, there's where the Burrito Boys has temporarily opened. I think their other location on Dundas will be shutting very soon. There's a look south down Yonge towards Yonge Dundas. And Burrito Boys, I wonder how long it'll be there. It's advertised as their temporary location. I guess they're looking for a new permanent location. Somewhere in the area, hopefully. All right, we just turned onto Gould Street. Still dealing with umbrella problems. So I'll just take us into the TMU campus. I'm making my way towards home. And even though I'm wearing my waterproof Vessi shoes, I can definitely feel that my socks are wet, at least on my left foot. I think my right foot is dry, but for some reason my left foot somehow, the shoes have not been able to keep my socks dry, or my one sock at least. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. And this will become a skating rink a bit later. Right now, not so much. But I think this might be a good spot to wrap up the video here on the TMU campus during the first snowfall of the year here in Toronto. I'm looking forward to getting home and getting warm and dry. But I hope you enjoyed this walk. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Were you out today experiencing this? Have you been hibernating to purposely avoid it? I'd like to know. But in any case, it is a bit earlier than usual this year for the first accumulating snow. But you never know what you're going to get with nature, right? And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell. That way you won't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. And you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So, thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back, because, as always, I will continue.